you've completed your assessment and have selected one of our memberships, either the Elite or Essentials membership, all the features and functionality are available to you within GeniusFactor.AI. I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. So we're back on the dashboard, and what you're going to see is AI career recommendations that our AI agent and engine has created based on your assessment. There'll be an overview, executive summary that highlights kind of the general assessment callouts, one of which will be the primary and secondary genius. Here you're going to see visual as my primary genius, word and spiritual as secondary. And then you're going to see recommendations that the platform is making relative to primary career pathways and descriptions for each one of those recommendations. For me, it's a visual genius. And then there's secondary career pathways and descriptions of those recommendations. For me, is a word and spiritual genius. And then underneath that, additional strategic recommendations on how to fulfill on both of those pathway options. And underneath that, you're going to see an opportunity to look at the results. Once you click the results tab, we then break down the scoring. And there's an overall genius score. As you see here, I scored 83 out of 100 relative to me being a visual genius. Underneath that, you're going to see retention risk score, mobility score, and role alignment. All three of these are important because it gives an indicator on how much of a retention risk I am based on my current role, how aligned I am in the current role, and what the internal mobility pathway opportunities look like for me based on my alignment, risk factors, and my genius score. Underneath that, you're going to see the primary and secondary genius factor, a description of my primary genius factor as a visual genius, and then highlighting my key strengths and energy sources, which is critically important to make sure you're in the right cultural fit for you. And then my secondary genius and areas of opportunity for development for that are listed underneath. Next, it's a short version of the executive summary, which I just showed you on the dashboard. And then role alignment. This section is really, really important. It's highlighting my unique strengths that I'm currently utilizing. And then it gives me my underutilized talents because we want to see what our areas of opportunity to grow in the roles that we're in or grow to roles that better align for us. It then makes predictions on retention risk. If I was to leave, what are the potential reasons I might leave? And then it gives immediate actions to make sure that doesn't happen, which is amazing. Underneath that, it gives career opportunities that are based on primary and secondary industries. It lists what those industries are, and then actually gives recommendations on roles that match. The match score also is indicative of how aligned it is to my genius, how aligned it is to make sure I'm not a retention risk, and how it aligns to my specific dominant and secondary genius and strengths. Underneath that, you give a little bit of context around transition strategies, whether I'm internal or external, and then that maps to our short-term and long-term goals. It'll give a 30, 60, 90-day action plan, 6-month goals as well. And then here to the right, it's got some personalized resources that are for professional development, courses that I could take relative to my skills gaps and where I want to go. And then it actually gives a list of affirmations and mindfulness practices that are strategically curated to me based on the assessment, which is a really, really cool feature, which we love. Next is Genius AI, which is our chatbot or career coach. So you can query and engage with it just like it's your own personal assistant relative to your career. So what skills are needed for chief marketing jobs in sports and entertainment? All right, and let's see what it gives us. What you're going to see is it's going to then pull and make recommendations based on my query. This is your own personalized career coach, which is an awesome feature that we have. And you can query it and ask it any question you want relative to your career. Over time, there's a machine learning component to our platform where our AI agent gets smarter in making recommendations specifically curated to your genius, your profile, and what's ideal for you to get into the flow state, that immersive environment, the jobs where work and play are one for you, which is a major focus for our platform. Next, you're going to see career pathways. Our platform, this is in beta right now, but it will pull jobs that match to your genius. And you're going to see different jobs that are aligned and a match score. We'll continue to grow this feature, but this is a major component to bringing some of the jobs and the opportunities closer to you within our platform. So it's another added benefit that we've added. And then development. Development is relative to skills gaps. So it's going to analyze my existing skills, and then it's going to make recommendations on courses for me to get even more proficient relative to my ultimate goal of becoming a chief marketing officer. And then underneath, it'll list the existing skills and proficiency, and then it lists courses for me to get better. This also is a feature that will continue to develop over time with more courses, more resources for everyone that's involved. So that is the platform. In detail, there's also a community tab you can click on, which takes you out to our school community. Details on our pricing, which you can go through and look at that depending on what membership you want to get. If you already have, and back to the dashboard. Hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully the platform is bringing amazing value to you. Have an amazing day.